So I found out there was a difference between humility and modesty. So humility is really accepting who God says you are, accepting where you are in life, and moving on from there. Modest, sometimes you might be affluent and you decide to be not show it, to go slow on it. But humility is just being who God says you are. And if He says you're all of that, then that's what you are. And if He says, look, right now, this is what you're going to go through, accept it, because the earlier you accept it, that's when your journey actually starts. Yeah. Because when you don't accept it, then you can't make changes. Yeah. If I say I won't accept that I had cancer, then I'm not going to treat it. I'm not going to go to the doctor. I'm not going to make life changes. I'm not going. So that acceptance, was I living in denial? Like I told you to the first part, yes. Was I bargaining? Did I go through that bargaining part, where you have to negotiate, okay, if I do this, that you're not really accepting, yes. Because for me, I had disappointment, and that's because I thought I was all of that. Yeah. I was frustrated because I didn't know what next should I do.
Yeah, you usually saw yourself as a strong person.
I mean, I'm running and I see people on the road walking. I'm like, why would this person walk? You will not get the result you're looking for. Run.
You're critical, so to speak.
I've been a sports person.
Yeah.
So I'm very competitive.
I can see why this was a difficult journey to accept.
Yes.
In the
So
first
your
instance.
strength can carry you, push, go further. Your coach will tell you can do it. Put yourself through that hardship, and so you have a way of working out results. So during my treatment, which spanned for quite a few months, my first course of treatment, the hospital I was going to had a psychologist who would work with patients. So I had 6 calls of sessions with the psychologist, and I didn't realize what I was going through until I actually talked with her. She didn't have to say anything to me. She said, so I got into the room and sat down with her. And she says, "How are you?" And I go, And then she says, "Tell me, what's going on?" And I started to cry. And I said to her, "What is all of this for? What was all of this for? Why did I have to go through?" I would have just done what other people were doing and not. And so when you face this, then yes, you ate a big frog, so suffer for it, Again, that's because I was thinking that, I was wholly emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So after saying to her, "What was all of this for?" she said, tell me everything. So I told her who I am,
where you're coming
where
from,
I'm coming from,
what your journey has been,
what I have done, everything. And I was talking, and you can tell I'm emotional, so I would talk and cry and all of that. And one thing I went away with everything she told me, you will understand, because all of this you have told me will work out as strength for you.
Yeah. So there's something I want us to bring about. So you've gone through the denial stage, you've gone through the acceptance stage, you've begun your journey of the treatments and healing. At what stage in that journey, we're not going to go through it will take so multiple episodes to go through all the treatments and all of that, but at what stage during that journey would you say you began to truly live again? And what's changed?
So
to get you to that point.
So, like we all know, people who have suffered, or anyone who's gone through cancer, they think you're a time bomb. You also think you're a time bomb, that at some point it's just going to come back. And so you never really think about healing. you're asking, how long? So one of the biggest thing that people who suffer from major life issues is a fear of death. It hangs around you. You see it every time you see your children. Wow. When you see your husband, you see your business, because you see everything that you've nurtured. So there's a detachment that starts to happen because you don't want to hold on so hard tightly, and then you really know that there was no need for that. So when you talk about healing wasn't on the table. So being well was what they were working with. And so the doctors will use things like, we want to improve the quality of your life.
Oh, not healing.
So, no.
Wow.
So, and even when medications are given, they're not given to solve the problem, to heal, to bring you back to wholeness.
Yeah.
So I had a medication after all my treatments, and the doctor said to me, okay, you're going to be on this for the next 5 years. So that's how lifespan is given to you. So in the next 5 years, let's see how it will work with you in the next 5 years.
There's no certainty.
No.
It strips you of your sense of certainty.
So you have nothing. So you know, I remember after surgery, and I had to come back for my treatment, and they said, you know, so I had one month to heal, you know, from the surgery, and then come back for treatment. And I felt like I had no time. My daughter was, at that time, she was in her mid-teens. No, she was actually in her late teens, because she was in the uni at that time. And I wanted to just have time with her. I felt I haven't told her everything I should tell her. Wow. You know, a mother, And you know, when I sit down to talk with her, nothing. I don't know where to start. But Mommy's okay. Mommy, I'm fine. And I'm trying to say things, and you know, it's just too much. You can't deal with it. You don't know whether to have a relationship with your husband or not. You don't know whether to look at him as somebody who loves you or not, because, okay, you're going to die. He's going to move on. You know, there's so much emotions to deal with. There's so much physically as well, because being a sportswoman, one of the things sports people pride with is the way they walk. I walk with a lot of strength and a lot of, you know, like, they call it steez, eh?
Yeah,
and you know, you know, you show yourself. You want to show that you have muscles, and you're
that
good.
wasn't happening at that time.
I could hardly even walk. I mean, going through my treatment, I was so weak that I was like a log on the bed, and going to the bathroom was a big challenge, because I have to move. My joints, you know, were all attacked. My bones, my muscles. I was weak. I was as weak. I was ground level.
Wow.
You know, and one of the realizations I had, which was what got me to asking God a question, was, you know, it certainly didn't have to do with wealth, healing and health and wholeness. It didn't have to do with how much money you have. I didn't have a lot of it. I mean, if it had to do with money, then people like Steve Jobs, you know, all these big names that died of cancer immediately, very quickly, they would have had money to deal with it. They would have had personalities, hospitals, and so it dawned on me that, look, this thing is not about what you have or who you know. Maybe who you know.
Life does happen, you know, at the end of the day. But life can happen.
You know, so that was reality. And so I remember one day in my room, I sat down on the rug and I was asking the Lord, what next? What's the way out? What do I do? How do I go about this? And I had only one word. And that word was leave.
Amazing, leave.
That word was leave. Live.
Leave.
Leave. At that time, I already started clustering with people who were on the same type of journey,
Yeah,
on the same
yeah.
path with me. So I found it very difficult to relate with my friends generally. I was hiding.
Prior to that time.
Yes, I was
Yeah,
hiding. Even after that time, I was hiding. I was going through depression. I didn't want to talk with people on the phone. This strong girl suddenly is talking and she has to make an effort. I didn't even think. One of the things that challenged me the most was my mind. So I used to talk. I used to make presentation.
Yeah.
I was on my first year of my PhD. I could hold conversations without having to look at scripts and I thought that was, that was ingenuine. So one of the things that happened to me was I couldn't think long term.
Yeah.
I couldn't talk. I couldn't remember
Yeah.
things. I couldn't, the words, I forgot things very easily. I just didn't have hope. So what was I going to do? Where was I going to go? How was I going to continue life? What was I going to be doing? And I hear the Lord say to me, leave. And the journey of understanding the word leave continues till today.
Continues to unfold for you. And you are living. Here you are years after. You are glowing. You are doing the things you used to do.
I'm alive.
You are alive and you are living.
I'm alive again. I'm alive again.
So let me ask this. What would you say you're more intentional about now?
A lot of things.
Yeah.
My value system changed.
Fantastic.
What was very important changed.
The things you held.
I had proximity with the number 2 in the country, or number 1. And it didn't mean anything to me. Just before then, there was a lot of discussions, things to do and everything. And once this happened, it didn't mean anything I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a consideration. I had to be alive first. Business, life, I love people, I love life, I love to enjoy. I just love to be present and do things, and whether I was exercise or eating.
Wonderful to be alive.
I just lived it all. I
haven't gone through
I was
that.
full of life.
Yeah.
So all of that didn't mean anything anymore. So life, there was this song that says, life has new meaning to me. Life had new meaning. Wow. Values was different. And you say to me, what changed? Everything changed.
Everything changed.
Everything changed. I remember one of my doctors I was talking with, he's a Christian. And, we're talking about living and changing my lifestyle, my food, stress level and everything. And then he says to me, go and sin no more. He said, haven't realized
this,
that even though you thought you were eating right, that you weren't. Even though you thought, I was a mother of 3. At some point in my life, I was a mother of 3. I was going through a law program, and I had just started the business, Jumbo.
That was a lot, yeah.
I was traveling around the country to, have contacts with my customers and everything. I mean, how do you do that? Just before I fell ill, I told you I was running my PhD. It was my night time. So my normal day was I woke up by 2 a.m. to study. I woke up 2 a.m. to study till 5. And just at that, after 5, finishing post whatever I had to post, I dressed up. I went to run. 1 hour, came back, dressed up. It was 6. At that time, I was leaving traffic. A lot of things was going on. I was in Lagos. So I had to leave the house early, around 6. I left to work. Didn't come back until, again, traffic. Did whatever I had to do with the children, with the house, with blah. Went to bed around 9, 10 and woke up. So literally had 3 hours of sleep. Is that living? So when I said I thought I was good and I know that I wasn't good. So you understand me.
You were, yeah. You
so
never really do know what it is, yeah.
Until you have to mirror your life. You really don't know what you're going through. Even the level of stress you're going through. You really don't know it. Life became more simple for me. I'm loving life because I'm not complicated. When I see people who want to live a complicated life, I just withdraw.
Yeah, so simple.
I like simplicity.
Being present in the moment.
Yes, yeah. I like meaning. I like to give, whether it's my time or my voice or my mind.
Yeah, I was coming to that. You know, there's a scripture that says all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. What would you say is that 1 or 2 ways that this has worked out for good?
Every way.
Yeah.
How
for that
has
person who's listening and struggling, yeah.
You know, life happens. Life happens, and when life happens, it's just a time for us, you know, when you're knocked down to your knees, pick up something. Don't get up too quickly. Pick up something from the ground where you
are. I've never heard. That's an amazing analogy. When you pick up something from the ground,
Don't get up. Don't be in a hurry and don't get up empty.
Pick up something
Take
quickly.
something with you.
That's awesome. That's an awesome illustration.
You know, and there are a lot of things we really get into that are meaningless. They look good. They sound wonderful, but they really are meaningless. It's important for us to understand that there's a lane for everyone to run on. And as long as you keep on your own lane, things are simpler. But when we're looking at other people's lane, competition, who is doing this, how far this person has gone, well, understand why you are here. And sometimes you think, what's my purpose? Where have I, what are the... No, it's your everyday life is your purpose. The things you do every day, your life. What have you done? That's what you're sent to do. Do it better. If you're a mother, be a better mother. If you're the chief executive, do that job well. If you're helping people find clarity, just sit at it. How is this person doing? It's good for us to understand things, to learn. But once we start to do this, envy, you know, there's a lot of things that happen.
On your lane.
Yes, there's a lot of things emotionally that happen when we are not focused
on our
when
lane.
We don't think about what's the Lord saying to me. In all of this, what does he want me to take from this?
So this is an amazing time to look at the camera and speak to that woman who's listening to us, who is on a similar journey but is stuck in the place of self-denial, or is really struggling but needs to move from survival to living again. What is that one thing you would say to that person looking at the camera?
Okay, so I look at the camera. You know, our journeys are different. The challenges we face in life are different. But you see, when you get stuck in life, there's only one person I know that helps you get unstuck. It's God, the Almighty. He would help you. A relationship with him makes a whole lot of difference. He helps us to start to understand things. I mean, it was Job who thought he was all righteous, and until God showed him. And then he said, oh my God. I mean, whether it was Isaiah, he said, I'm a man. He thought he knew so much. And he said, I'm a man of unclean lips. That's how we all are. And God is trying to take us from one place to the other place. I would say to you, live in your lifetime. Don't live in the future. Don't live in your past. That's what God said to me. After he said live, he said, and then when I sought to understand what it meant, he said, in your lifetime, everyone would die someday. So don't worry about that. So that that string that the devil has of fear of death is broken off you. Everybody will die someday. We're not going to live here alive. Remember, miracle is not just when you're touched by a man of God and suddenly you couldn't walk, now you walk. Miracle is that you find somebody who will tell you what to eat, how to eat, that you need to sleep, that you need to drink water, that you need to forgive, that you need to let go. That is miracle. Every day is a miracle for you. So that you live today, accept today, even accept 1 hour. Because sometimes I was in pain that medication would keep away pain for 1-3 hours, and you know you're going to go back to painkiller. So live in that 3 hours. Whatever you can do in that 3 hours, be happy about it, accept it. Thank God for that 3 hours and thank him for future. But live in this. What can you do in these 3 hours? Live today. Don't think about what your husband will do or what will happen to your children or what will happen to your business or whether, you see, the miracle is in the minute that you live.
This conversation reminds us that healing is just about healing of the body. It's a holistic journey. It's about healing your mind, it's about healing your spirit, and it's about healing your soul. Thank you so much, Umucha, for coming to share this emotional story with us. It does remind us at the end of the day, trauma does not have the final say. So live and keep living. And thank you for being an amazing guest and for sharing your story. God bless you.